Hey everyone, it's November 9th, and that means that if today is your birthday, you share it with Rhode Island-based serial killer Jeffrey Mailhot, who killed at least 3 victims in the early 2000s, and that is him right up there. Born in 1970, Mailhot left almost no mark upon the world until he became a killer. His high school yearbook has a blank spot where his photo should have been, marked with the phrase, camera shy. Former neighbors just recall that he kept to himself, even as a child. Part of that may be due to his parents divorcing when he was 9 years old, then his mother dying from cancer when he was 17, and his father following 5 years later. As he reached adulthood, he tried to forge a new identity for himself in the town of Woonsocket, Rhode Island. He bought a Harley-Davidson motorcycle and leather jacket, but was rejected as a wannabe by other bikers. Mailhot attempted to become a professional wrestler, but didn't have the physique or charisma required. His greatest joy was spending nights singing karaoke at local bars, but was generally ignored by other patrons. He moved into a quadplex where 2 units were vacant, and when his elderly neighbor died as well, he had the entire place to himself. That's when Mailhot began to do something to make himself stand out, in all the worst ways possible. A former girlfriend recalls that he was rather moody and obsessed with cleanliness to a degree where she was afraid to touch anything in his apartment. He enjoyed choking her during sex, but apparently that was just the beginning. Mailhot started picking up prostitutes and bringing them back to his apartment. He choked at least a dozen of them to the point where they passed out, but they were the lucky ones who survived. In 2003, he went further, choking one out and then smothering his victim with a pillow until she died. He tried to dump the body the next day, but thought every location he drove past was too risky until he used a handsaw to dismember the dead woman and threw away parts of her across multiple trash bins late at night. 14 months later, he killed again, and killed a third time just 2 months after that. Both victims were cut up and disposed of in the same manner as the first. When 2 prostitutes approached police to recount their narrow escapes from his apartment, authorities picked him up for assault. Investigators began to look into the case and realized he may be responsible for the disappearance of 3 women over the past year and a half, and questioned him about it. At first, he denied even hiring any prostitutes, but quickly folded when presented with evidence that showed otherwise, and confessed to the 3 murders. A forensic team was able to prove a mop in his house had been used to soak up the blood of the victims, and 2 weeks later they found a trash bag containing human remains. Mailhot pleaded guilty to 3 counts of murder, being sentenced to life in prison, and will first become eligible for parole at the age of 77. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so they can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Jeffrey Mailhot I say, happy birthday, you bastard.